Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Caleb with Stain and Seal Experts and Expert Stain and Seal. Today we're going to clean these two fence panels and show you what we would do to prep this type of fence for stain and seal. All right, so we've got the panel on the left here. This one looks like a lot of common panels fence panels that you're gonna see that are just old age treated pine wood, and it's gray, it's bleached by the sun, maybe it's had a little water or sprinkler damage. We're gonna use our Eco Cleaner on this panel. Over here on the right, this one is gray, it's dirty, it's really nasty. This one we're gonna use a little bit stronger cleaner, the wood cleaner on that, and we're gonna show you what the results look like. Now we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna split these two panels right down the middle, and on one side we're gonna use a low pressure rinse, and the other side we're gonna use a high pressure rinse. You can do this with any $99 homeowner version of a power washer, or you can use a really heavy duty commercial grade power washer and the results will be the same. The idea of the video today is to show you how to do a professional job with professional equipment or with homeowner grade equipment. So we want to get that same result, and these cleaners are really going to be the key for that. All right, so here are the cleaning chemicals we're using today. We're using number one is the Expert brand Eco Cleaner that we make. It's got a green tint to it when you put it in water, so you can easily identify it. And this is, again, this is really eco-friendly. It's sodium percarbonate. You can use it in your laundry. Carpet cleaning companies use it to clean carpet with. It's safe around pets, foliage. Some people even use it around water sources, so this is a great choice for anything from a medium to a mild cleaning. And number two is the wood cleaner. This one's a little stronger, so it's a yellow color, and this is a mild stripper or a heavy cleaner. It's got a stain lifting ability, so this one's really good, and we're going to see the difference between the two. So the mixing process for these chemicals is really straightforward. We pack them in 8-ounce packs which treat 1 gallon at full strength. So the first thing we've got is we've got two 1-gallon pump-up sprayers, and they've both got warm water in them. If we can get warm water, I always recommend using it. It just helps speed things up a little bit. They don't have to have warm water. The Eco Cleaner likes warm water more than the wood cleaner. Again, if you got warm water, go ahead and use it. So we're just gonna pour it right into our pump-up sprayer. Some people use a drill mixer to agitate. I just mix it up, shake it, and that works just fine. So I'm gonna do them both, get them both ready so you can see both in action. And usually when you pour these chemicals in, you're gonna get a little bit of powder around the lip of these sprayers. So I just keep a little extra water here. You can do this with a water hose. Either way, just clean that lip off of there and then drop them in. And some guys use soft wash systems, so they use like 12-volt pumps. They use all kinds of different things to make these chemicals mix. But anybody, anywhere can get a $10, $12 pump-up sprayer and really do a great job. So get them pumped up. And once you get the lid on, I just like to give it a shake. Just to shake it up, get everything mixed up there, and that is ready to go. All right, and again, notice you've got green and you've got yellow, so it's really easy to identify what chemical you've got, and there you go. Okay guys, I got a little bit of eye protection just in case, and I like to use the fan pattern on these selectable tips, so make sure you use the fan pattern. That's going to spread the chemical out the most and give you the best result. A couple of interesting facts about the Eco Cleaner. Again, it's extra safe. It can be used on wood, it can be used on vinyl. We're using it on this vinyl fence. It does a great job killing mold and organic growth on vinyl fencing, so it's really nice. Notice how the Eco Cleaner is really bubbling on the surface. What that means is that there's actually organic growth, mold, mildew, algae on the surface and in the top layers of this wood. And that's a reaction that's happening, very similar to hydrogen peroxide. So that's a good sign. That means the cleaner is working. Now, the same process is going to take place with the wood cleaner. wood cleaner, I told you earlier, also is a mild stripper, so it can take off some old coatings. It can take off a lot of dead cell wood that's on the surface of wood, and it also kills organic growth. And again, it's got that major lifting ability. Another cool fact is that those ugly, terrible lumber stamps that are on all of these decks that you see, wood cleaner takes them right off. So our rinse process is going to take place when the wood is ready, and the way we're going to check that is we're going to use something. We can use a stick, you can use the heel of your boot, you can use a little pressure from the pressure washer. We just want to see if the stuff on the surface is loose enough that we can easily wash and rinse it away. All right, so we're going to use a power washer. I know most contractors and homeowners both have access to a power washer. A lot of people are afraid to use pressure, but if you use it properly and precisely, pressure is exactly what you need to get the best result on these cleaning jobs. So we're using something that's called a J-rod. This is just how contractors keep up with tips instead of having loose tips. So what we're looking for on the low pressure side that we're going to do the low pressure demo, we're going to use what's called a soap tip. It's just a tip, very low pressure. You can hold your hand in front of it, and it's made for applying soap with a power washer. And we're just going to do rinsing. The other tip we're going to use is more of a high pressure tip. It's not super high pressure. I would call it medium, but this is what our crews use here in Nashville for our service business to do rinsing on most fences and decks that need a little more pressure, kind of like this here, to get it down to a new clean slate of wood. So a couple of tips for power washing. We don't want to go back and forth. We don't want to gouge the wood. We don't want to go in and out. We want to start above the fence board, come all the way down the full width of a fence picket at the bottom, and then go right back up, or vice versa. Start at the bottom, go up, and come right back down. Either way will work, but we're not going to start and stop. We're not going to do anything like that. Very smooth, nice and slow, nice and easy. And remember, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we just want to do this nice and smooth, take our time, and get it done. All right, so that's low pressure, and I don't know about you, but I think we can do a little better if we add a little pressure. So again, remember, it's nice and smooth, steady, and let's try the higher pressure tip. All right, so the process for mixing up wood brightener is the same as the other two, but a couple key things about the wood brightener is you've got to do it. You've got to do step number 2 if you do step number 1. So step number 2 is always the wood brightener. It neutralizes and it brightens and opens the wood grain up to accept stain much better. So again, we just tear the strip off the top and we're going to pour it right into water. It can be cold water or hot water, and it goes right in there. That's 8 ounces per gallon. Some guys mix it a little weaker and some guys go way stronger, but we found that 8 ounces per gallon really does a good job, and that's the mix we're going to use today. All right, there it is. So let's go brighten a fence. All right, so it's time to brighten the wood. Talked about it before, neutralizes it brightens and it opens the wood grain. And it's real easy to know if it's working or not because you can see it working. You're gonna see the wood go from dark to a little more lighter natural color. It's gonna be really obvious on the wood cleaned panels, not as obvious on the Eco Cleaner. So let's get started. Couple of things about oxalic acid, which is the main ingredient in wood brightener, is that it can etch glass. It's really easy to avoid it. You keep things wet and you rinse them when you're finished. If you sprayed this directly on a window and let it set for 2 or 3 days, it could cause problems, but a little bit of water will fix it. So let's go. Okay, the brightening is complete, and I don't know if you can tell, but I can really see a pretty big difference here. The right side, low pressure, the left side, high pressure. And the same thing over here. You can see a dramatic color difference, much brighter and clearer wood on the side that we used high pressure on. So there you go. Okay, it's time to rinse the wood brightener. It's obvious that it's already done its job, so now we just want to rinse any areas, housing, fencing, shrubs, foliage, grass, anything down, and including the fence or the deck, whatever wood you're working on. Just rinse everything off and then we can call it a day. We're using low pressure. Again, this is just a final rinse. Okay guys, there you have it. The cleaning process does not have to take all day. These cleaning chemicals really do a good job of loosening everything up and letting us use much less pressure than you would use without the chemicals. So give them a shot. And a word of advice, I know sometimes older fences like this require a little extra cleaning and maybe they don't look as great when it's wet. That's part of the process. Let it dry. You'll be very surprised at how much better these fences look when the sun has a little bit of time to dry them up. Old wood just looks dark and dingy when it's wet, so give it a shot. All right guys, it is the next morning and as you can see, it looks different, right? So we're gonna flash to some before images so you can see what this stuff looked like before and what it looks like on the back side compared to what it looks to now. And overall, not too bad for a 20 to 25-year-old fence panel. If you want to learn more about processes like this, subscribe to our channel. And if you're a contractor and you want to get more in depth and grow your staining business, be sure to join the Facebook group Staining University. There's 3,500 stain and seal and wood restoration contractors in there, and it's where you can learn anything you want to know, from bidding to processes to equipment, anything in the stain and seal world. Thanks guys, we'll see you on the next video.